Pain only doesn't feel good when you resist the pain. It feels amazing when you look it in the eye. Whenever you let go of something scary, you're only scared because your mind can measure what you will lose, but it can't see what you'll gain. There's so many things that condition you to not know that you're enough. How about everything on TV makes you feel like you're not enough?
Need motivation?
Watch Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Grab a snack and chew on today's lessons from a man who went from starting to perform stand-up comedy when he was only 12 years old to becoming an actor, successful comedian, best-selling author, and transformational speaker.
He's Kyle Cease, and here's my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 to 9. This one's for my top 10.
Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Focus on intention, not goals.
Well, I believe a goal is something you can actually see the outcome of, right? Like I'm gonna make $1 million. So if you say I'm gonna go make $1 million, then you might actually see your bank account change, but that might not necessarily mean that you change, right? So if you have an intention, that's an inner, in the moment goal, right? And life can mirror what your intention is. So let's say you're feeling off. If your intention is, I'm here to grow, then feeling off might be okay. Right? So if you say, my inner intention is to learn, my inner intention is to free myself, my inner intention is to whatever, that's what you are right now. It's a word that you can bring to you. It's something that's different. Many people don't realize they all have intentions, but they haven't created it themselves intentionally. So they might say, you know, I'm worried right now, and their inner intention might be to not have conflict. So then they're against that worry and they're actually scared. Right? So an intention is what I like to bring with me. My intention, like I actually have the word patience on my shirt. I love the word patience. Like if I'm doing, for instance, sometimes I'll do a juice fast, right? And I was 3 days into a juice fast and I actually stepped on the scale and gained weight. And if my intention was results, I'd be really pissed because I didn't get any. But because my intention is patience, I stay with it and say, okay, I'm not supposed to just get results in 3 days, I'm supposed to stay with it. And then bigger results usually show up as a byproduct of you being that intention, being that space. So to me, an intention's way bigger because you don't know what the results are gonna be. But you change with an intention. You become a different person. You see the world differently after a while. So I don't like goals that much because goals are often created from you in that egoic state. You get what I mean? Like in the state you're in, like everything you're thinking right now, the biggest goal you can see for yourself still brings in your past story. So your past story might think, I'm someone, for instance, just to give a measurable thing, let's say you're someone who makes $20,000 a year and you want to create a goal for next year. So the biggest you're going to see is like, I'll make 30,000 next year. Yeah, but you're just this moment. What you and I and Oprah and Trump and anyone you can think of, we're all the same thing. Infinite possibilities, just heart, lungs, potential in this moment right now. And if you undo yourself from the old story, then you can change really fast.
Rule number 2, fall in love with your fears.
Fall in love with your fears because the only problem is you're addicted to an old story where that fear, you got love for it. We go to lunch with our friend and we talk about all our problems and then they bond with us. Think about this. Think about when we were kids. If you and I went to another planet right now and we were raised by 2 30-foot tall aliens. I usually say 20, but because you're so big, I made them 30-foot tall.
Thank you.
And we're raised by 2 30-foot tall aliens. And neither one of them spoke English. And we don't know who they are. We're just put on this planet. And for 20 years, we're raised by these giant things. And one of them comes home drunk every night. And it's just screaming. It's like, ah, rah, rah. And you start to learn, I better not speak out or this thing's going to hurt me or abandon me or leave me. Right? And then the other alien really loves it when you tap dance, let's say. I'll tell you, that alien gets all the other. So you start to learn for 20 years, the way life works is don't speak out. And when I tap dance, I get love. And then you go, and everyone has 2 different aliens, right? Then you go out to the rest of the planet and you're tap dancing. And those aliens are like, I don't even like tap dancing. That's our parents, right?
Yeah.
And you go back to their childhood, their parents were in like the Great Depression. You go back 10 more generations, you're in slavery and Viking times. And none of them did the work we're doing.
Right.
So that we're getting bags of all this crap from like the 1400s. You know, they're like teaching them club her in the temple and drag her home. That's the training that, and then parents learn, they teach their kids to survive. You need to survive. Don't do what you want to do. Become this, become a lawyer or this thing.
Right.
And you start
Don't
to
do
learn.
Brings you joy.
Yeah. So you start to go, well, I want to do this thing, but I'm going to lose love that I got from my parents if I step into the great thing that I am.
Yes.
So, but that
I'm going to disappoint them. They're going to abandon me, and I don't want to be abandoned.
And there's a replacement for that, which is you being the space of love for you that you've never gotten from your parents. They did the best they could. You forgive them, you love them, and then you just go, okay, what is it I'm scared of? And I'm scared to tell my parents that I want to do. Okay, I'm going to tell me that. I'm scared that I won't be enough, and I love that. All of a sudden, it feels not alone. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm scared that people won't like me, and I love that. People might not like me, and I love that. People might be crazy, and I love that. People might write me really weird messages, and I love that. People might do bizarre things, and I love that. I might not be enough.
People might attack me. People might...
Yeah, I might be broke. I might be in millions of dollars debt, and I love that. Now, people might think that's just crazy because then you're just ignoring it. No, you're creating a space that's bigger that will totally create and take care of those problems as a byproduct. Mm-hmm. I've learned that everything that I'm scared of losing is going to have to be taken away from me to make room for what I really am. If someone walked by you with a glass and they were scared to death that they're going to drop it, what would you do for them? Like, oh, I'm scared of it. Right.
Yeah, I got it.
So the universe takes from you everything that you're scared you're going to lose to show you that you're enough on the other side of that thing.
Without it.
Right. So you're scared you're going to lose money? Cool. The universe will make you broke.
So you can realize, oh, I'm still alive. I'm still here. I can make things happen. I'm resourceful. I can go create a new life for myself.
In fact, you were stifling your amazing gift because you were so focused on what you would lose.
Rule number 3, follow the feeling.
I always talk about this, but there's two voices in us. There's a first voice that says, what if we did this? And it feels good. You know the voice is the voice when it doesn't have any reason why and it can't tell you anything past the first move. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Because your mind comes in and goes, well, I want to see the entire thing. So the first voice goes, let's leave this company. That's all it can say. Let's ask that person out. Turn right here. Go to the cabin for a while. Go into nature. Write a book. Whatever it is. That's what the voice says. It's just a feeling. That feeling we have 24 hours a day and we never listen to it. What if you did meditate? What if you did start that band? What if you left this band and started the other one? Right? And it's just a feeling. It can't tell you why because you've never done it. Right? That feeling is a feeling. It cannot tell you why because you've never ever done the thing. But that feeling is a preview. It's saying, you know that open feeling you're feeling? If you actually do it, you'll always feel this way. So we ignore it usually because we've created the thing that we actually pay attention to, which is the collection of thoughts that you learn from society that tell you why you shouldn't, and it comes up with the stupidest reason why. We should leave this company. Yeah, but if we do, we can't go to the Cheesecake Factory party next Thursday. And the first voice is like, if you'd learn to listen to me, you'll own all the Cheesecake Factories in 2 months and you could make them all vegan if you wanted. But I can't tell you that. The voice is like, I can't tell you that. You know why? Because then you wouldn't be moving from faith, would you? You'd be moving from certainty. You'd be moving from protection. Will I have security if I leave this job? Because you're under the illusion that your security is outside of you. Everyone thinks, well, I just need to have security. You never have security outside of you.
Rule number 4, be authentic.
You don't plan ahead, so
Yes.
we ought to be right in the pocket today.
I feel like if I planned ahead, you wouldn't be hearing me. You'd be hearing something I prepared. And if I was doing something that I prepared, it would be because I want to get something from someone. You know, we say, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? That question implies there is a right or wrong way. And how do you measure that? Like, did it sell something? Did people like it? Did I get approval from the audience? So I also feel that in the moment, we're always feeling something. Like if you just say what you're feeling, then you actually create a space where the person across from you or the audience goes, oh, I know what that feels like and I can connect with you. But in trying to prepare something, often we block what we're feeling and then bring something that we prepared earlier in the day, and people miss out on the real you. We live in a world where we don't say what we're thinking, we say what we think people want to hear. So if you get into an elevator and there's someone that you're attracted to that gets on the elevator and you're trying to think of the right thing to say, what would happen if you looked at the person and said, I'm trying to think of something to say to you? Like, that's actually true.
Right.
And how attractive would that be if a person is, I'm trying to think of the right thing to say to you? Like, there's vulnerability in that, there's possibility, they get to co-create with you. But most people don't say that. They instead say what they think the person wants to hear, right? So we instead look at this person and go, there sure is weather outside. And they're like, yes, and there was weather yesterday too. And now you're two phony people, and this is who you're gonna marry. That's the world we live in, right? I'm gonna marry this person after starting the entire thing off inauthentically. So for me, not preparing is so much easier and so much more true, and there's so many amazing moments from that, right? And people go, I don't know how you do that. And I remind people, well, when you go to a restaurant, you don't have a set list. You don't sit there and think, first I'll ask them if they have pets and if they like ice cream. You'll actually just say what you feel. And in that space, you have a 2-hour off-the-cuff conversation. So that's all we're doing.
Rule number 5, be in the moment.
Like a caterpillar, if it's a caterpillar's walking on a stick, if there's a wall here, right? The victim caterpillar goes, oh, there's a wall here. I'm not gonna do this, right? The achiever caterpillar, the make it happen motivation caterpillar, goes, I'm gonna get over the wall, right? The what's trying to emerge out of me caterpillar goes, I think I'll just sit here for a week and do nothing. And then the cocoon forms, and eventually it has wings, and this thing's a non-issue. It's non-existent. So I've had it before where someone talks crap about me, right? Now the victim caterpillar goes, I'm gonna leave this. The achievement caterpillar goes, I'm gonna prove them wrong, right? I'm gonna have another #1 Comedy Central special and show them that I'm... But the what's trying to emerge out of me caterpillar goes, okay, this thing is here. What illusion, what story am I in for this thing to even be an existing thing? And for me, that shift happened when comics were giving me crap because I was this positive guy. And all of a sudden I was like, I cared what they thought about me, but something was trying to emerge out of me. Yeah. So I had to sit, and I sat in a hotel for a long time, and I felt all this pain in me that was like the most I knew at that point was, how do I show them they're wrong? And then eventually I noticed my mind was coming up with all these solutions, but I was just sitting on a bed, safe. But my mind was literally fighting for its life for days, but I'm totally safe. And we always are sitting here in a place of thinking, I got to fix this problem. And we're actually in fight or flight, life or death mode when we're totally safe almost the entire life.
Yeah.
So at one point I saw my mind was doing this, and I realized I'm not my thoughts, because my thoughts are coming up with this and I was separate from the thoughts. And I realized I'm the one looking at this. And all of a sudden my entire life story collapsed, and I was just this moment. And I stared at a wall for like 5 hours, and I felt totally free. And I realized I felt a freedom that was even better than who I am as having a #1 Comedy Central special or whatever it is. I'm actually this moment only, and I felt freer than I'd ever had been.
Wow.
And I flew back home after that, and I tried to get my DVD player to play a movie, and it wouldn't play it. And then tried a second one. I tried 6 movies and it wouldn't play it. Finally, the movie Adaptation played. And there's a scene in the movie where Nicolas Cage says to his brother, he goes, in high school, there's a girl you really loved, and she was saying crap about you, and you didn't care. And he said, why is that? And the brother said, because whatever she says about me, she can't take away from me how much I love her. And then he said, you are what you love, not what loves you. And I realized the only reason I had been stressing was I was under the illusion that who I am is what they think about me. And how could I be what someone thinks about me? What one person thinks about, one person could hate me, one person could love me. Their issues with me have to do with their crap and their childhood and their past. So if I think one person loves me, I become that, and then think this person, no, I'm not what they think of me. Do I accept what they all think of me? Do I love them in their hatred of me? And when you go back to your childhood, that's who you actually are. In your natural childhood state, you're just always, you don't care you don't even know about what people think about you, and you know what you want to be. You know you're going to be a singer, or a dancer, or a comedian. Yeah. You're not thinking about, well, yeah, but I got to consider this, or will I sell enough, or you just be that. And then society turns us into a consumer. So what our natural, when I was under the fear of what these people thought about me, I was under the illusion that who I was what they thought about me. And that was my caterpillar moment. And so every time I have any issue at all, I ask myself what Michael Beckwith said is, what's trying to emerge out of me? So I'm excited with every time I have a conflict because I always know that only a story is scared. Only an old identification is scared. Only, like if someone's talking crap about me, that's only affects me because I think who I am is my reputation. But if I get to I'm just this moment, then I can handle the lightness or the darkness of everything that everyone else thinks. And then I can do bigger things because I'm more in alignment with the entire world versus I'm this zone.
Rule number 6, find true happiness.
The biggest illusion I've learned in my life is when something happens, I'll be happy. So many people are in a position right now, almost everyone here can think, when I get that one thing, when I get that raise, when I get that promotion, when I get that person to like me, when I get out of this relationship, when I stop this addiction, I'll be happy. Whatever it is, I'll be happy then. And I understand it, but it's not when something happens, I'll be happy for me anymore. It's when I'm happy, things will happen. And it's not when I'm happy like Ned Flanders' smile. It's like when I'm okay with all of myself, when I'm okay with my anger, when I'm okay with my sadness. And by the way, the only way out of that pain is through. So when that pain comes up, you gotta feel it. It's been waiting to be felt. And there's a little 5-year-old you that just wants to be accepted by the you now and say, I hear you. I know that love you didn't get from your parent. Well, I love you. And let that thing feel and let it cry. Crying is a good thing. So many people think, I'm just gonna cry so that eventually I'll be happy. But you're implying happy is better than crying. And crying actually does feel good when you face it. Crying doesn't feel good when you resist it. The pain only doesn't feel good when you resist the pain. It feels amazing when you look it in the eye.
Rule number 7, shift your perspective.
My friend Diego said this once that became something that I live by, is whenever you let go of something scary, you're only scared because your mind can measure what you will lose, but it can't see what you'll gain. So if you're sad because you're going through a breakup, you're focused on the loss of one person versus the gain of 7.5 billion people if you're bisexual and willing to date everybody. So your mind just remembers one person, but it can't see what's on the other side of it. And that's no different to me than getting on an elevator. When you get on an elevator, it's a dark, closed room. Just like when you meditate sometimes, your visions of what you were disappear and you feel darkness. But that doesn't mean because these doors are closed that there isn't a whole new world on the other side about to open up. So when you feel lost, you're really in a problem of you're just addicted to seeing the old story.
Rule number 8, know that you're enough.
There's so many things that condition you to not know that you're enough. How about everything on TV makes you feel like you're not enough? How about the fact that the news only shows us crap all day? I always think to myself, do you know how not scared of flying we would be if they showed us the 30,000 flights a day that made it?
Right.
Like I think every time a plane lands, they should interrupt whatever crappy show you're watching and interview every person.
How do you feel?
They feel like I had a great flight.
I was passed out. It was great.
Yeah, you'd be like, I want to try flying. And they're like, coming up, a family that wasn't murdered. Even murderers would be like, well, if no one else is killing people, why would I? I should start some company and fix the economy.
Right.
But they scare you all day and then they run Prozac commercials.
It's crazy.
How is that not a cult?
You know what's funny? Yeah, it's true.
Right?
It's funny, my dad, growing up, my dad would never allow us to watch any commercials with medicine in the commercials.
Right.
Any type of like drug or smoking or drinking or anything, he would turn it off.
Right.
He didn't want us to be conditioned to watching.
That's awesome.
Thinking like it's okay.
Yeah.
So it was kind of annoying. Like he always changed the channel, but it was like, it got me conditioned. Like I don't watch it now. I turn off whenever I see a commercial. I don't really watch TV. I watch more like Netflix, but
you mean like the pills that list the side effects?
It's
in the
so
commercials?
hilarious, man. And it's like every commercial feels like a new pill that's like now in this beautiful stylistic journey we're on, like living this beautiful life of like
they're showing these people rock climbing and sailboarding, and you're going, like, man, I wish I had herpes.
You'll have gonorrhea and this and that. Yeah, it's like, and I just turn it off because I'm so conditioned to. One, the more we believe that like we need these things, the more we're going to have them. Right. And there's just so many things, like you said, that we can let go of these thoughts, these feelings, these addictions, and free our mind and body of needing things like this. So
totally. I mean,
yeah,
we are. those commercials are hilarious. And then they actually show you in the commercial, like, that may cause death and anal bleeding. And you're like, yeah, but my sinuses will be clear. So
it's crazy.
I'll trade in death and anal bleeding. It's a brand new day. Herpes. I'm like, that's not a brand new day at all. It's every 6 months, I heard, because I have a friend that's not me. If it's for herpes, they should use Usher's Let It Burn.
Oh my gosh.
I'd understand it. Yeah, but those commercials are crazy. And the news does it. Then at the end, they act like they were a friend the entire time.
Oh my gosh.
Because they tell you the story of a cat that got stuck in a well.
Oh my gosh.
Every news story ends with a cat that... I think the news is putting cats in wells. So they can scare you for 58 minutes and be like, talk about 9 lives.
Just one good thing.
And then they go to the scene and there's some woman stroking a greasy cat. We thought he was a goner. And it turns out he was. And then they come back and they're like, and the cat's name was Lucky.
Oh my God.
Sure was, Bill. And then they're stacking papers, but they have a teleprompter. So they also have a side job with Kinko's now at the end of the news. And that to me is the craziest
funny.
world, that literally at 5 or 6 o'clock, half of our country just hears all the things that are going wrong in a world where there's a lot of things going right. Yeah. And then they get scared. They feel like crap. They think they're not enough. And then the only way to get you to buy something that makes you think you're enough is to make you believe first you're not enough. So if you're not enough, it just takes Budweiser, just a little, and bikini women will surround you in a bar. Just do that. And there's just bikini. You need that because you're not enough is the belief. Mm-hmm. And if you get that you're already loved, that you can't get love from outside of you, the only thing someone outside of you can do is trigger in you permission to give yourself the love that you want. That nothing outside of you, we are like breathing oxygen, thinking, how do I get that person's oxygen? Or how do I get the oxygen over at that new job? Versus getting that you're breathing and you have the oxygen or the love already, and create from there. And holy crap, will every goal you've ever had come chase you.
Rule number 9, don't sabotage yourself.
What Martin Luther King was capable of doing, or Gandhi was capable of doing, or Mother Teresa, or anyone you can think of who did something amazing, anything they did implies you can do that. And I always think to myself, what would happen if 1,000 Martin Luther Kings showed up at the same time? Right? And there's 1,400 in here, and all I see is nothing but that potential available. And the only thing stopping us is our mind goes, yeah, but because of the past. Yeah, but I'm not like that because of the past. Yeah, but that's not me. No, if you realize you're just this moment, we are all the same. You, me, Obama, a homeless guy, Oprah, it doesn't matter. All we are is just heart and lungs, and there's no better or worse than all of a sudden. You're just infinite potential. And at this place, you can give and receive anything. You can give and receive millions of dollars or ideas or possibilities or just do something creative, because if you have something massively creative show up in your body, a lot of times what we do is we'll go, what if I did this? And it'll be this amazing cutting edge idea that could totally impact the world and could be worth a lot of money and could help a lot of people. But you go, yeah, but I wouldn't do that. And the I is the old story of you. So you sabotage it.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is have fun.
And what's funny is ego also thinks whatever decision you make is your life decision. Ego creates this black or white, till I die decision versus you just having a conversation going, right now I'm just feeling some stuff I'm not quite sure of, and living in a little bit more of a gray possibility of love, where it's not this way where we can't breathe and we're stuck forever, or this way, where we only breathe and we never see each other. You're saying that you're run by what you do in that one situation with this woman, right? And neither way will run you, because if you know everything's okay, it won't run you. So you suddenly become the space for those dilemmas to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Is that making sense?
Thank you, doctor.
Yeah, no problem.
Operated on my heart.
So,
it's supposed to be a funny joke, and then it's like...
oh, God. Naked comedy. So, that's actually from 5 to 6. Naked comedy is going to be... So I would love for everybody to check out the illusion of their question. I'll get the shoe on. Don't worry, for OCD people like, hey, I can't. No. Just everyone with OCD, it's your big night. Everything is not aligned. Oh, it's gonna be the worst night ever. Oh, how do I tilt this a little bit? Just with this a little bit like this. Just disaster. All right. Now,
now I've got a bonus Kyle Cease video on how to not be trapped that I think you're really going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Time to move from just watching another video to taking action in your life or business. And if you're feeling bold, leave your answers in the comments below. Here we go. Question number 1, where do you need to stop sabotaging yourself? Number 2, how will you remind yourself daily that you're enough? And number 3, what's the fear that you need to fall in love with?
everything that you perceive about yourself from your past, it doesn't exist right now. You're just sitting here, right? So if you take a deep breath, you might have these little images of what your past story is, like things that happen to you, things that you feel reactions to, whatever. But if I actually realize that everything that I think I am from past accomplishments or future accomplishments or that I have as goals or whatever are not me, that I'm just this space that those ideas show up in, then often they might leave, right? Let's say you have a thought, no one likes me because no one liked me at that one thing in the past. Okay, who's saying that? It's just a thought. It's not you. It's a thought that comes from evidence of one thing in the past, but that doesn't mean that's you, right? So that thought shows up and you just let it be there. One thing I love to do with people is when they say I'm nervous or I'm scared or anything that feels like a negative thing, I have them say, and I love that afterwards. So if I said right now, I have no idea how this interview is gonna go, and I love that, all of a sudden I'm free. Right? If I think I have no idea how this interview is going to go and that scares me, then I'm going to be entangled, right? And the problem isn't the thought, it's your resistance to the thought. So where are these thoughts coming from? They're just thoughts that we have, these things that we think. And usually we think that those thoughts are bigger than us, and then we resist them. So I don't know if that answers your question, but what I realize is that all those things that we think we are that feel limited, you know, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm scared. All those things that we think we are the only thing we have as evidence of that is our past, right? I'm not enough because that one time. Everything that comes in and hears me say that you're just infinite, that you're amazing, when you hear a voice go, he doesn't know my story though. My story, my past, it's not what you are.
If you like this video, check out Tom Bilyeu's top 50 rules for success. The link is right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
The thing that gives you the most energy in life is something that you have no natural inclinations for, then go learn that.